This is episode 3 of Edging on Multiplicity. I am your host, Sam.
I'm Adam.
I'm Drew, and we have 2 guests with us today.
We do indeed.
I'm Alexis.
And I'm Riley. Sorry, we don't mean to step on any weenies here. We don't want to. What's your guys' rhythm here? How does it really go?
Our rhythm is this is the show without rhythm.
Yeah, I'll just sort of lead us through discussion, more or less. We'll just kind of follow along the episode and talk about stuff as we go.
We beat to the beat of our own drum beat.
So, first thing I want to get is, what have you guys experienced with Multiplicity, Alexis and Riley?
I've only seen a short snippet of the film.
Would it happen to be this 10 minutes that we just watched?
Indeed.
Perfect.
I've seen the movie twice, and then also the 10 minutes we just watched. So that's the freshest bit, and I'd say I'm a Cash fan, I guess. Really surface level.
Yeah, you haven't taken the online quizzes, like, which Doug are you?
Yeah, I haven't listened to the director's commentary backwards yet. So.
Are you a Doug or a Doug? Or a Doug?
Or a Doug.
Or Doug.
It's like which Harry Potter house are you, but it's which Doug clone.
We'll make the quiz at the end of it. Once you guys get to the finale, you can follow the link to the quiz. Which Doug are you?
Well, of the 4 Dougs, which one is which Harry Potter house? Because 4 is obviously Hufflepuff, right?
Let's discuss that once we get to those Dougs.
Okay.
All right, right now we have 2 Dougs so far.
Well, this episode began with the Dougs introducing themselves to each other,
And instantly they're literally checking out each other's asses.
Yes, and also they have that thing where you can very clearly tell that he's not comfortable doing the green screen because they kind of talk over it. He kind of talks over himself a lot, and it's somewhat incredibly awkward.
I'm going to come right out and say this. The effects on this movie, like after the introduction scene, which is just a pretty basic green screen, after this, the effects are really good because there's all kinds of instances of the clones interacting on screen.
Yeah.
And I was genuinely in awe by that. And that's kind of something I haven't experienced yet with this one.
Yeah. The surprisingly well-made movie for how much it is Multiplicity.
For how poorly made it is. It's a really well-made movie.
Yes. There is one thing I really got to hit on in this opening scene, which is the nude statue of a person in fetal position on the wall in the background. I don't know if anyone else picked up on that.
No.
No one else noticed this.
I thought it was a vagina.
It was weird.
It's post-vagina.
This guy, you know the guy running this facility, a freak, though.
He did clone himself.
He did clone himself, and it's heavily implied he fucks the clone.
Yeah, that clone's in board shorts.
And by heavily implied, I mean it's the headcanon that we've all kind of crafted.
You know, I can't think of any better thing to do with a clone, because at this stage in life, I have nothing else going on. I can't think of what I would have a clone do other than suck me off now and then. And what better way to get your jollies?
I do have a genuine question.
Yeah.
So if you were in the character's position, the original Doug, you're married with 2 children, and you have a duplicate of yourself, what would you do?
If we personally were in that situation?
Yeah, I mean, you're married with 2 kids, you got a stable job.
Sell the clone for organs.
That's a good idea.
I'd probably rail Andy McDowell.
Just for the chance to suck the pussy juice off of original me.
We are in a post-Dunstan world. Damn it, Adam, you got me saying Dustin now.
It's so hard that...
A post-Dunstan podcast.
I was gonna say, I have another question.
Yeah.
Doesn't it make you question the character where he's willing to hide his clone from his family instead of, talking to them?
You've hit the crux of this movie.
That is a very good question.
The discussion begins.
So the entire kind of my entire kind of angle from this movie is how much of a bad husband and father Doug is
And
throughout
citizen.
the entire movie. This is my favorite angle to analyze this movie from.
That's a good point, Alexis. I was viewing this from a 90s perspective where I'm like, of course, shenanigans. That he can't tell his family, but why can't he?
Yeah.
I
Do
mean,
you think they'd... Well, I was going to say, do you think they'd honestly believe him, but if 2 Dougs walk into the room at the same time...
There's a public institute that's just making clones left and right.
How many?
Well, we don't know.
people
Maybe
has
this
this
is
guy
only the
cloned
second clone he's
before?
made. Maybe the cloning process has been going so bad. Like he cloned Doug and goes, "Oh my gosh, this one has 2 lungs."
Well, it's like it really makes you get to know his character better. In the in the short time in that short 10 minutes, I realized he's really selfish and secretive, and
Yes.
I mean, he's not a trustworthy character at all.
Why did any of us watch the whole movie?
It's great. They give you no reason to have any sympathy for him.
He is a bastard.
Oh, and he's
I
wearing.
genuinely hope he dies.
You
I
can
hope
tell-
the clone takes his place.
You can tell the moment you see that glasses strap.
Oh.
See the what?
The
His glasses strap.
Oh, the glasses straps.
He constantly wears glasses straps in this movie.
Michael Keaton does?
Yes.
It's
I
like
did
the,
not
the
notice.
band.
Okay, if you want an
Yeah, I
idea
know
of what
what it
Michael
is.
Keaton's fashion in this movie is, picture a dad from the year 1996, and you've got it exactly. It's the high-waisted jeans with the flannel tucked in and glasses with the glasses, sunglasses, the glasses strap, mouth constantly agape. Michael Keaton always looks like he's surprised in this movie.
I'm glad you brought that up because at the scene where he
catching
brings,
flies.
where he brings the clone back to his house and he's just handing him clothes, it was just like hitting a 90s dad checklist. Like,
Oh,
alright,
yeah.
plaid, check. Button up plaid, alright, check.
And I gotta say, I do appreciate this scene where they subtly give second Doug the leather jacket so that you can distinguish him from the first Doug.
Thank God for that because I had no idea which one was which.
But it's also so you know that he's the cool Doug.
Yeah,
It's the Doug that fucks.
Yeah, this is aggro Doug. One thing we start to realize in this part of the movie is that perhaps maybe all Dougs are not created equal, because second Doug is far more aggressive than first Doug, but he's got a very I don't know what to say other than toxic masculinity going on.
He's somehow physically stronger, as we see when they chest bump.
Yes.
He got a mean streak a mile wide.
It's toxic multiplicity. That's the name of this episode.
Oh, it's really good.
I'll write that down. I don't know what this is going to do. I'm never listening to
The impression he does of his wife is so good. I love his impression. Doug, it's like full on patty mayonnaise.
So, did the clone turn out to be actually Doug, or what Doug wants to be?
Now, there's an interesting
That's a
take.
fabulous
Ooh.
question.
Ooh, this is an interesting. I've
Because
never
he's-
looked at it from this angle.
He's stronger. He's more efficient at work.
Yeah,
He's
yes.
liked a little better. He's a better attitude towards people.
Well,
He does lock him in
well-
in the porta potty.
Wait.
That man was giving him shit, though.
Wait, so the clone went to work?
Yeah.
I thought the regular Michael Keaton went to
No,
work.
no. That's why the clone. Okay,
Regular
so
shit is like,
You
what
believe-
do you want to do?
we'll get here in a
Fell
second.
for
Well,
it.
Hold on, I wrote exactly down. I
fell
wrote
for it.
exactly what I wrote down was makes clones so original can work. Seems backwards.
Adam, we'll get to that.
Adam, you fell for the
We'll break down your whatever you've done here in a minute. Because first, we really need to talk about. We must crush Ted. We must destroy him.
No.
I would break Ted's
No,
neck.
I haven't had a chance to speak because I wanted to talk about the middle-aged dad angle because they start talking about like Satellite in the most dad way possible.
Yes.
Where they don't have anything specific they want to watch, but they just want to know that they own
No,
a satellite.
Sports.
Yeah.
Sport. I want to watch
And
sports.
movies.
Can we get some sports going up in here?
See, that appealed to me because I too love sports and I also enjoy movies.
Manly Doug comes in. You gotta know he's the more aggressive Doug, so he comes in like, we're gonna get a satellite TV in here so we can watch sports and porn.
And then the other Doug's like, is there anything in particular you want to watch? Because we're going to be paying a lot of money for this satellite package. And he's like, no, I just want to have it, like something to turn on so I can fall asleep in the recliner.
So I can go to work and say, 800 channels.
Hey, go-
we got DirecTV, 800
800
channels.
channels.
Nothing to watch.
Going back to Sam's, I want to watch porn. That made me think, what kind of porn would Clone Doug watch? Would he watch Double Penetration?
Clone Doug would watch only lesbian porn.
Before we move on, I would like to go back to what if Doug is the better, the Doug clone is the better Doug? What if he always wanted to push that guy in a porta potty? Get rid of him.
It's
I think
because
that's implied.
yeah,
Is it?
Is it?
yeah, because Ted definitely does suck dick.
Yeah.
So in the first part, Ted is really awful.
Okay, well,
Ted's an annoying suck up.
I didn't see that.
You get like a little bit of what does he say to the boss when they're walking in? Something like,
This is like, hey, can I toss your salad, boss man?
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
That means anal.
Also, you know that the second Doug is the cooler, more manly Doug because he starts telling the other Doug he's whipped.
Cooler and manlier than
Yeah.
a guy who won't let his wife work because of how he feels? I don't know, man.
That's a good point. Doug 1 was already so chauvinistic. It's kind of hard to get worse.
If I was married to Andy McDowell,
I'd beat her.
Oh my god.
That's Doug talking, not
Doug
me,
too.
Adam. That's Doug. I'm in character.
can we call him Tug as in two Doug?
Doug 2.
Tug is...
I think we should call him Dig Doug.
Are they?
Dig Doug?
How about
Because I really
double
dig
D
this
dog?
Doug.
Double D Dog. Actually, I'm pretty good with Double D.
Double D actually
Is
works
this
for me.
Doug Duo and the next one is Doug Trio?
Oh my god.
The next
Dude,
one's
that's
Doug
fantastic.
Dimmadome.
I gotta write that down for future episodes so we don't forget that.
Doug Dimmadome.
The thumbnail for this podcast needs to be fucking like.
Three Michael Keaton heads like Doug
It
Trio.
needs to be like a foil Pokemon card.
But
It's
we
a
have to make sure the
ultra rare-
eyebrows are like...
Yeah.
Oh, it's
embossed.
like a hollow of 3 Dougs, but like the hollow pattern is eyebrows.
Oh yeah, that's what we decided. That's what we...
There's a full art Gigamax Doug.
For those of you listening, Riley sitting here next to us is the one who made our capture for our
Yes.
for our last season.
She made
that wonderfully tasteful cane of Lord Rutledge for our cover art.
Hand model it based off of just random YouTube clips that were available.
Yeah, I had done like a really decent job with sculpting the like the falcon handle of that can. It sounds like not just the claw. I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah, I wasn't
Before I grab
specific
monkey
enough.
titty.
it's fine. It looked like shit, but thank you though.
was
I'm glad you
beautiful.
guys liked
No,
it.
that was great.
Oh, we loved it.
It looked real.
We're not blowing smoke up your ass. That really was fantastic.
I could practically feel my nipples being pinched.
Yeah, I remember when we first showed it to Sam, he went, I really love Michael Keaton's horrible improv.
Yeah.
There's no way this is written dialogue when
No,
it's like,
no.
all right, yeah, this is a shirt. Yeah, I can see myself wearing this. Yeah, there's another
this
jacket.
jacket.
Oh,
Okay.
I remember this jacket.
Speaking of horrible improv, I hate to shift just a little bit, but in terms of like the production aspects, the poor cameraman who had a fixed shot for when the scene where after Michael Keaton passes off his clothes to the clone and he's trying to walk up the door, Michael Keaton moves like 5 or 6 feet while holding on to the doorknob, so the camera on the tripod is swiveling and swiveling and swiveling. This poor guy gets paid like $30,000 a year to watch Michael Keaton do what he think is improv. I have another one similar.
There's
We'll
one-
get onto that later.
Their improv has one good point, which is when they just get into the huddle and start going, "We must crush Ted. We will destroy Ted. I will break Ted's neck."
Okay, that's pretty great.
I
Yes.
do unironically enjoy that part.
You know, I missed a whole lot because I was so focused on I was so dizzy just watching the camera on the tripod swivel that I actually had to look away for a hot minute because it made me so fucking sick.
Is everybody okay if we transition to the work scene? Because I desperately want to explain what happened to Adam and figure out what went wrong.
Yeah.
I do want to bring up one more thing. I got to point out the many sides of Doug, where how he simultaneously hates his wife, but also very happy to see her every time she appears. And we finally did find out her name this episode. Her name is Laura. It took 20 minutes for him to say her name,
It's
and
pronounced
they've said it
Laura.
6 times so far.
It's not
so far.
Dee Dee like I claimed in the first episode. Dee Dee.
So you may remember the first episode of the podcast when I said I'm pretty sure they say her name like 5 times in the entire movie. They've said it 6 times already in one scene. So fuck me.
Sam, it looks like you've been owned by your own blunder. Facts prevail, bitch.
Hey, Adam. Didn't you just get done telling us, Mr. High Horse?
That wasn't me. That was
Your clone?
They did a good job of cloning him.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
It's him. Spitting image.
I wish they just
So
used
him.
funhouse mirrors the entire time and didn't address it. Like, yes, that's my clone over there. Oh,
But you just see hands holding the edges of the wheel.
Harold Ramis himself.
Like it just shivers every now and then. Just burn.
So as we've alluded to, after getting the clone back, the Doug gets his clone settled in the smaller room above the garage. We cut to the next day when Doug is walking in to work. It's 6 a.m. He's already there.
But where's Doug at this point?
Doug is at work, but Doug is also on his way to work.
But where's Doug?
Doug.
Dig.
I
Goose. Doug Goose. Oh. Damn,
Doug,
I came up with that too.
Totally
That was a good one.
Please
That was awful.
Yeah,
I like it.
I'm completely lost now.
Okay, but Doug 2, what did we call him? Double D.
Double D.
Double D goes to work very early and gets a bunch of stuff done to impress all of his boss and other co-workers. But then original recipe Doug with 13 herbs and spices. Oh damn it, it's 11 herbs and spices.
Well, he heats his BMW on in there anyway.
Yeah, and he comes in.
How the hell did Doug get to work?
They have a truck and a car. Right?
Yeah, they have the little red
But
shitty
the
loaf
wife
car.
comes. Oh wait, never mind. I was gonna say. Wait, what's the? Didn't the wife working now?
Yeah, didn't
She
the
has
wife
a station
working?
wagon though. She has like the wagons.
So they have 3 fucking cars.
Oh, she's got the wagon.
Yeah, they're poor, but they live in a giant house that they're refinishing. See, this is very 1996. The housing market was not what it is today.
It's Simpsons poor, where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
we live in our 2-story house and we're barely scraping by.
They're the upper middle
We
class.
only have enough money to go on one vacation per year.
They're the ones that we will eat when the revolution comes.
Well, guys, we have to cut back. We can't go to Applebee's every week anymore.
I would
Thank
look-
God Dad can get a clone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did he pay for the clone?
Yes, he paid for the clone. It's he talks in the first episode about how much the clone will cost. It's implied that he pays for the clone.
Was it an insurance charge?
You know
I
what-
cannot recall.
You know what would have been really nice to see? A scene of him paying, or a mention of how much it costs. Maybe that would add some kind of financial.
Maybe he
stakes
has
to
a
the
back,
movie with
back
no
credit
stakes.
card.
Do
You know,
they-
in Canada, clones are subsidized by the government.
Do they have the same social security number?
It's just got like a parenthesis 2.
They're not legally people. They count as
Squared.
house pets.
Oh wow!
Michael
Okay.
Keaton
have
is
to re-
Batman. He paid with the back credit card. You cannot change my mind.
You have to register them with the American Kennel Society.
I would like to talk about Doug at work because I want to know
Doug
how
at
Adam got him confused.
Okay, so
Yeah.
can we break this? Okay, so a man gets a clone, and on the first day he has the clone, he hops out of bed and goes to work early as fuck.
Look, read that
Okay.
note right.
It's almost
there.
as if Adam didn't watch the first part of the movie, where they explain that he's getting a clone so that he doesn't have to go to work anymore.
that fabulous note.
But then he did show up anyway.
Yeah.
It's almost like
How
the
did this
people.
screw up?
It's almost like the people that didn't even see the first 10 minutes of the movie are somehow able to follow it. The people that have been hyper analyzing this movie through a podcast.
I've never felt so attacked before in my life.
Sorry.
Can we also talk about the fact we're 30 minutes in?
Already?
We're 30 minutes in. This is the third episode.
We're doing it, people. We're doing it.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're going all the way this time.
We're 30 minutes in, and they just now have started the clone shenanigans.
To be fair, in the last episode, in the last 7 seconds,
We did see his penis.
And his clone.
Did
Yes.
we really see his penis? I think you're fucking.
No, I'm 100% serious. When they shrink wrap him on that thing before the microwave dings, you can full on see his dick. It's terrible.
That's such a sad sentence before the microwave
Before
team,
microwave
like the
team.
big whisk.
We've
Yes.
seen Michael Keaton's flaccid cock.
Yeah, it's awful.
You can tell it's really his cock because it honks, just like it did in that other movie.
So he goes to work.
He goes to work.
The clone goes to work and gets a bunch of stuff done, and people are impressed, confused.
And attracted.
They're like, did he get bigger?
Did this identical copy get somehow sexier?
Is that a
I think it's
dumb?
an attitude thing.
Yeah,
He did.
He carries himself
He
better.
did look a little thicker.
that dumb truck ass.
Oh God!
Adam.
Like he looked like, I'm not trying to be gross, but he looked juicy.
Adam. So Doug is in there.
Yes.
So he says that he's been there since 6, and then he follows his coworkers into the room for a meeting.
Yes.
And then a Michael Keaton in an entirely different outfit walks in the door, and then the secretary says, "I thought you were in the meeting." And he says, For a minute, he stammers like, I had a shirt, then I got coffee, then I went in the meeting, but then I walked out of the meeting, and then I got a shirt. And you were just sitting there like, yeah, this completely makes sense. He must have ruined his shirt.
I rub my cute little chinny chin chin.
Fun fact, if you look really closely, you can see the moment where he evacuates his bowels as he has no idea what to say. He could not explain his way out of a wet cardboard box.
Okay.
Like, he's, yeah, I got a second shirt for emergencies. My car... Good thing I had the second shirt, because I spilled the coffee on it. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go out and get that second shirt because it's probably dry by now, and I like the other shirt better. So next time you see me, I'm going to be walking out of that meeting in my original shirt.
He's talking mean shirt.
And you think I'm exaggerating. I'm toning this down.
Okay, I'm going to defend my thought process real quick. I just thought that someone happened to see the clone just strolling around town in a different shirt. That's how I took it.
Can we get a gavel? I'm taking you to court, Adam.
To Multiplicity Court.
Multiplicity Court.
This far in the movie, I don't like how this character treats women.
Yeah, you've seen 10 minutes of it. Get ready. Oh, baby.
Have you seen Dunstan Checks In? Oh,
No.
man.
Oh, Adam, you've not seen this. I think you're going to enjoy the theme of Edging On podcast is making fun of bad male protagonists.
So, this far, he talks about for his wife saying, she wouldn't like this and that. And then he semi-threatens the secretary to never speak of this again.
Yes.
Keep a hammer in my truck, too. You want to see that? You want to see that? Well, you keep on asking questions, you dumb broad. I really...
Aggro Doug, as I say.
I really am confused why the other lady in this office walks in with a bag full of groceries.
Does she?
Yes, it's a literal paper sack, and you can see bananas and like a milk carton sticking out of it. Like the director thought, woman, food, and children. Props department, get on that.
See, Harold Ramis sees all women as primary caregivers, and that's why we need to
He said
cancel
that.
now.
He said that, yeah, in an interview.
This movie is Caitlin Bennett's favorite film.
You can see extras that are women walking around with brooms in the background.
Did you see the other day Caitlin Bennett
thinks
tweeted
women-
a screen cap of this movie and said, finally, a woman portrayed how she should be in films.
He thinks women are witches?
Because they were riding on the brooms.
They weren't sweeping. That's what you thought, audience. That's what you thought initially. No.
That's what the libtards want you to think.
They're trying to take away your women's brooms.
Have we talked about Ronald Reagan this season yet?
Now we have.
He wasn't, well, I guess he wasn't
feel
president
like
in Dunstan.
I feel like I had to clarify why Sam in particular hates Ronald Reagan. It's because Ronald Reagan actually stole his girlfriend of last year.
Rose from the grave.
Look, Sam and I were going to keep between us, but Sam really only hates Ronald Reagan because that one time when he cloned himself and then climbed up the side of Sam's house like a bunch of barrel monkeys. They linked arms and ascended Sam's house. And they tried to stop Sam from doing the drugs.
Ronald Reagan was on the ceiling and going, don't worry, it'll trickle down one day.
And then he trickled down into Sam's awaiting mouth and started taking over his body.
His delicious DNA trickled down to Sam's girlfriend's waiting gape mouth.
So how about Doug's massive car phone?
Thank you! I wrote it down. I wanted to talk about his phone so bad. I want to know if he has any games on it.
It's like Lord Rutledge's Dunstan walkie-talkie radio.
He didn't have a walkie-talkie. We clarified that. It was a pager.
What game, Pong?
He spoke
Snake.
into it.
No, he didn't. He just...
Oh yeah, you're right.
This is a full-on...
You're right.
This is a full-on glorious, like the kind of phone that someone pulls it out and it dates the movie instantly. The phone, it is like the perfect 1996 brick phone where like you can see his arms straining. Like you know that Double D would be like, oh, start having a little trouble holding up that phone, Dougie boy. Maybe I should help you lift that up, little bitch boy.
It looks like a quarter of a microwave.
And it gives you just as much radiation poisoning.
I see the porta potty.
The porta potty scene is good.
I see porta potties in my nightmares.
What's the name of the work rival?
Ted. Ted is the one we must destroy.
Remember it this way. Ted rhymes with bed.
Right.
And
And you see Ted.
you can. It's easy to remember because Ted rhymes with bed, and Ted slept with Doug's wife.
Yeah, and
He did?
No, and
Oh my god.
there's the video game Ted Bed Redemption.
Ted has quite possibly never had sex in his entire life,
You
Adam.
fucked me up because I missed the fact that it was the clone at work, so I didn't know if like in between scenes where I was zoned out.
There's that scene where, like, there's that really weird scene in the beginning of Multiplicity where Ted is just raw dogging Doug's wife.
It's like
I
the
wish
scene-
I had a clone to fuck my wife.
It's like that scene in Eyes Wide Shut.
And going, am I better than Doug? I bet I'm better than Doug, right?
I just see a nice like black and white shot, like in Eyes Wide Shut, a Stanley Kubrick with Nicole Kidman.
What was that, Adam?
Stanley Kubrick.
Oh, okay, I thought you said Stanley Kubrick.
I did, but I meant Kubrick.
Ted is the most pathetic character in any movie. He is so obsessed with being better than Doug. You know that Ted goes home every night and cries in front of the picture of Doug and his wife that he stole from the 2-hour photo.
It's like in that Stanley Kubrick film where the main character cries at one point.
Have you ever seen 2-hour photo? Or 1-hour photo?
I don't even remember when like photo places were a thing, dude.
It's the movie where Robin Williams plays his serious role, where he's a stalker at the photo developing place.
I hate Robin
And he's got a wall full of like photos that he stole from his family. That's how I imagine Ted living. Like Ted goes home and he's got all these creep shots he took on disposable cameras taped to his wall of Doug and his kids, and going, "Oh, come on, Laura. Let's go watch the game. We're gonna go watch the game together. Doug would never go watch the game with you, but I'll make time for you, Laura."
You took it to a really bad place, man.
Like he's just got all the pictures in like an empty hardwood room that's like he's got like a spooge corner.
He's got a bunch of floodlights set up on tripods. He walks in and flips the lights on, like the bulbs flicker on before casting a pallid glow across the wall.
A pallid glow.
There's just the hum of the incandescent lights as he stands there furiously masturbating.
Why are we not talking about how a construction company doesn't have indoor plumbing and has used porta potties?
That's a good point. Why the fuck does Ted use the porta potty?
Because we're going to have porta potties around anyway. We can cut costs this way.
We don't.
Every flush is another $1 wasted. If you use the porta potty, that money you would have wasted on the water bill will trickle back down to you one of these days.
See, we missed the part where the forklift man takes and drops that porta potty in the incinerator. Gets out of the movie.
Ted never appears in the rest of the film. He's dead. Ted really died.
This is why they don't have a bathroom. Ted would always show up and say, "Please, I'll take care of it," and then he opened his awaiting mouth.
He smiles at the camera, hair dripping with piss, and says, "I'm more dedicated to my job than Doug."
No,
Doug would never do this for the company.
I'm sorry, Adam, you were saying about...
No, it lost its luster. I was just gonna say, picture this. You see Ted.
Yes.
His cheeks are puffed out.
I'm picturing it.
They puff out even further. And then as his lips slowly expose his teeth, dribbles of piss fall between the gaps in his teeth.
Ooh. Now that's an image.
And then once he's empty to completion, he says, "That's it."
It's like I'm there.
Fun for the whole family.
The more we watch this movie, the more parallels I'm seeing to Disney's Doug.
And also,
He said the name Roger.
And his name is Doug. And Laura talks like Patty Mayonnaise.
And he's cringe.
Doug.
Doug!
Doug.
You need to spend more time with your kid.
Doug, I want to get a job, Doug.
Say whatever one of your guys' podcasts go.
pretty much, yeah.
This one's a little more loose.
Just to explain
There
to
is
the
a little
audience-
less to talk about in this episode than there usually is.
Just to explain to the audience, Ted, after berating Doug, just goes into a random porta potty, and Doug locks the door and then tells the guy with the forklift to carry it off to God knows where.
Yeah, this is his revenge on Doug. And what we'll do is we'll cut the part where you say "just to explain," and then Adam will put that before we talked about this for 40 minutes, and then nobody will be any the wiser. It'll sound like we're competent podcasters.
Then I duplicate where I said Stanley Kubrick over and over again.
Here's the question, though. Are we bad at podcasts, or is Multiplicity bad at being a movie?
I feel like podcasts are conceptual.
I feel like a good podcaster would, in spite of the flaws of Multiplicity, still be able to make a good podcast out of it. So yikes. I don't like Michael Keaton. Because he's always like, "Hey, I'm going to clone myself."
I like Miss Beetlejuice.
Yeah, that's a very fun movie. We should watch Beetlejuice, but then it wouldn't have been as funny because we couldn't have made fun of it.
Why not?
Because it's really good.
I mean, Alec Baldwin's in it.
Oh yeah, that is a major sin. Wait, I thought that was his brother. Was it really Alec?
Yeah.
I thought it might sound like a little one.
Yeah, it is. It's when he was skinny.
Oh.
It's before he inflated. It's before he became the boss baby.
In real life.
Yeah.
He just paid a plastic surgeon.
I am become boss baby. Destroyer of lost productivity.
Why the hell did they make a movie about a boss baby?
Well, remember Baby Geniuses
Yeah.
from the late
Oh, how could I
90s?
forget?
Yeah, that's why.
I'll never forget about the time that I first heard about the movie. This is a complete tangent. One time, Olivia was telling me about Baby Driver after it had come out, and I thought she was talking about Boss Baby. And so the entire time, I am sitting there thinking, how did she enjoy Boss Baby?
Where's the she's car chase?
Because she's going on about how it's like one of the best movies she's ever seen. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Boss Baby? Really?
You're looking through the credits. Where is Edgar Wright?
So the whole time I'm just being completely incredulous, like, all right, yeah, yeah, really, it's good.
You said Boss
All
Baby
right.
was fantastic.
All right, really, is a great car chase scene in Boss Baby? All
Nominated
right.
for Academy Award for
Okay.
its musical score, dude. Boss Baby.
Speaking of musical score,
You're telling me there was a rapist in Boss Baby?
Okay,
All right.
you know,
I didn't know this was a Boss Baby podcast.
it is now.
Dude, next season, edging. Oh man, I don't want to say edging on.
Yeah, don't.
Okay.
I just want to point out, speaking of music, that toward the end of this scene, the musical score, whoever's playing the harmonica is going hog wild. He's
sorry.
like going, oh, Adam, you were the harmonica guy?
I did. Yeah.
This movie has the most Midwest score I could possibly manage. Like this, the soundtrack
We're
of this movie.
Springsteen.
Yeah, the soundtrack of this movie is what I would imagine like the ambient music of Ohio would be.
This is actually what the character of Doug would make with his band.
Doug Funny or
Yes.
Doug
No,
Multiplicity?
Doug Multiplicity. Doug Funny.
What instrument does
Doug's
Doug
not
play
funny.
in the band? This is the important question.
Which
Obviously
one?
Harmonica.
Doug plays guitar for sure.
He does not play guitar.
He doesn't know how to play
Pussy
guitar.
Hands.
Well, at least
He's a drummer.
Double D plays guitar. Double D
Yeah,
plays
Double D
guitar
plays
for
He
sure.
probably plays like
While fucking.
What's that weird ass Star Trek thing that nerds play? That never mind. There's this weird ass instrument from Star Trek that became like real, and like a bunch of like nerds learn how to play it, and it's really weird.
Is it a Vulcan instrument?
I think so. It's like this weird. A piece goes in your mouth, and like it's like kind of a piano.
A melodica?
No, I know what a melodic is. I'm not
Yeah, you know, remember in TNG when Riker's in the holodeck? Never mind.
Yeah, you remember when the Borgs are about to eliminate the Starship Enterprise?
Yeah, remember when Picard is playing Cheeseburger in Paradise? It's melodic. I know nothing about Star Trek.
We can't save his planet, but we can save its musical scene.
Lieutenant Data, play
The-
Despacito on that melodic. Wait a minute, he's not. Never mind. Cut that out.
I said Starship Enterprise for the next generation, so we're okay.
All the Star Trek fans are gonna come down on us.
It's all geek to me.
Hopefully they don't listen to Multiplicity
Is it the
podcasts.
theremin?
Yes, that's what it is.
The
The
theremin.
theremin's been around since
Yeah,
like
I
the
was gonna say,
20s.
yeah.
dude.
They come from fucking Star
like,
Trek.
The
I'm
theremin
sorry.
has existed since like the 1920s. It's like one of the first ever electronic instruments.
It came from deep space in the future.
Dude,
Sorry, that sounds so incredulous, but yeah.
It was dropped off by Captain Kirk
Sorry.
and Spock.
But Riker invented the theremin.
You know,
No, I feel
in Good
like it.
Vibrations by the Beach Boys, since the theremin wasn't invented yet, it's actually just all of them on the mic going, ooh, woo!
I thought it was. You fucked me up, man.
They were just tickling each other.
They pulled their socks off, they got their big jammy toes out.
Mike loved
Yeah.
a big feather.
He's credited on the album too.
As the Featherman.
What if the Beach Boys did a cover where like their shoes were off and they were like all sitting down, their feet were like straight out, like in focus?
No, that just sounds hot.
That sounds like a Tarantino movie.
So
really
Doug
like-
watches his son play football.
And do you think this is going to be like the first wholesome moment? Like Doug's actually making
Yes.
time for his spawn in one scene in this movie.
You're let down so fast.
Oh boy.
So we get the coach. We immediately see the coach is very frustrated as all the dads are like yelling at the coach.
They're all saying their kids aren't playing, which makes me wonder whose kids are playing.
To which the coach responds, "I'll kick your ass! I'll kick your ass!" So Doug walks up, throws his shoulder around his guy, and goes, "Ah, these guys ridiculous, right? I mean, you were doing a hard job, you're working for free, you're not even getting paid for this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Finally, someone understands. Yeah, see, really, these guys are just giving you all this shit. You know what you should really do? You should put my son in for a little bit, because he's been on the bench for a while.
Okay, a little callback to when I mentioned how the camera work when Michael Keaton's doing his weird little pacing.
Yeah.
We get another scene of pacing.
Yeah.
And the poor cameraman, once again,
They're just
strapped with a gimbal.
they're just like running back and forth across the length of this football field.
It's not like the cameraman is just pushing zoom and then zoom out, zoom in, zoom out. No, this guy has to pace along with them with like probably 50, 60 pounds worth of gear strapped to his chest.
Or it's just
and
like a
just
dolly
following.
track.
It's not a dolly track, it's a gimbal.
In the high noon sun,
Actually,
sweating his nuts off.
they did this entire scene in CG. They filmed this whole thing on a green screen, like it's Doug on a treadmill. It's Michael Keaton on a treadmill, just walking in place. He's wearing a full green screen bodysuit. They digitally like put everything in. In fact, the thing you might not realize about this movie is it's even more ahead of its time than you'd think. Michael Keaton actually barely even acted in this movie. He really just provided the voice role. It's a full digital Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton is actually portrayed by why can't I think of his name now? No, damn it, the joke is ruined because I can't think of the actor's name who plays Pee Wee Herman.
We're just horribly dubbed that in.
But the thing about that is, like, having to do all those new groundbreaking special effects was way cheaper than paying Michael Keaton to be on set every day.
Yeah,
So
Since he plays, what do we? How many Michael Keatons do we get? That's not a spoiler. Tell me how many.
Oh, it is absolutely. You will find out, Adam.
Okay, so
1 Michael Keaton, 2 Michael
hypothetically-
Keaton, 3 Michael Keaton, 4. How many Michael Keatons? I hope there's many more. There's a
But,
Michael
like,
Keaton,
anyway,
there's a
does he
Michael
get paid
Keaton.
like the same salary for each of the Michael Keatons? Because
I would think
that
so.
would be a fucking steal.
Well, it'd still only be the one. As far as they know, it was only 1 Michael Keaton, just swapping out. So he's still only making the same amount of money.
But the camera
But now
is
he's
in on it.
But now he's got 2 Michael Keatons to feed. You know what? He didn't think this through at all. Now he's got 1 more mouth to feed. What the hell is he gonna do?
the clone doesn't
He's
eat.
fucked himself.
Well, the clone's doing work, so they're actually gonna make money now instead of just Doug yelling at knock off Eugene Levy for tearing up somebody's driveway.
Doug was doing
off
it.
Eugene Levy. That was legit Eugene Levy.
Doug was.
it wasn't.
Yes,
It
yes, it
was.
is. It 100% is. It's,
Yeah.
that's Eugene Levy.
I could have sworn
Eugene Levy.
that I looked up on IMDb because I thought that was Eugene Levy, and it said, "No, it's not Eugene Levy, you dingus."
See, I remember that specifically because when the opening credits came rolling in, I saw Eugene Levy's name, and I thought, that's a weird combination to have 2 powerful eyebrows in one scene.
Yeah.
Douglas.
And the worst part is that I know we discussed this before. I cannot wait. This is not going to be a fun season to binge as you're just like bashing your head against the wall.
We covered this already! God!
I really wish Drew's face would have translated over audio.
His face went white.
His jaw hit the floor.
And I went, ghost?
His eyes went
across the side.
beluga.
I feel like the point about Doug talking to the coach is a good example of how much of a manipulator Doug is.
Yes.
And not even a good one.
Yeah, he just everyone around him, his work, his family.
Doug cares about nobody other than Doug.
So what better movie to have someone care about nobody but themselves than a movie where there's multiple of themselves?
But then the
that's
genius
deep.
of it all is he can't play himself.
The one character, famed character actor Michael Keaton cannot play Michael Keaton.
I mean, the coach was right, though. Those kids couldn't play football worth a dick.
Dude, those kids sucked so
They
bad.
were
They were kicking the football.
Kids-
Like, this is America. You don't kick the football in America.
Or we'll kill you for the commies you are.
I mean, I know he's doing this coach gig for free, but at the very least, he could teach him how to play the fucking game. God.
Even if they knew how to play the game, kids can't do anything really.
All kids know how to do is eat hot chip and lie.
They're
all kids know how to do
sticky.
is all kids know how to do is play Fortnite and TikTok.
And eat dirt.
Can I say something real quick? I wrote down a total of 6 things in terms of notes, and I was a little hesitant as to what we'd be able to talk about. And I was not disappointed that we were able to psychologically deduce what is wrong with Doug.
You know the funny
We were
part?
able- what?
Nothing happened in this part of the movie. This is the longest episode of the podcast ever.
Until I get rid of all the horrible jokes that didn't land.
That's how I know it's the best episode of the podcast.
Cut.
Adam,
Keep that in.
where do you think Multiplicity is going from here?
Yeah, how will this movie end, Adam?
Oh my god. From here, I can only really deduce that because I know there's going to be more Michael Keatons, so I can that's a given.
You don't know how many there are, though.
I don't know how many there are. See, that's a mystery. There could be like there could be 5 Michael Keatons, or there can be a whole 8 Michael Keatons. Who even knows?
The world could just be overrun with Michael Keatons.
Dude, if Michael Keaton clones replace every single person on Earth,
Oh my gosh.
Like being John Malkovich.
like being
the the being bad to your wife economy would collapse.
Because oversaturation and inflation.
But pickup trucks and wife beater T-shirts through the roof.
Oh, yeah.
Look out, Apple. Look out, Amazon. There's a new conglomerate in town.
Steve
So-
Jobs Doug.
A Doug clone walks into a record store. The guy behind the counter, the first words out of his mouth, "Look, sir, I keep telling that all the other ones were out of AC/DC, and there's no more Led Zeppelin. All right,
I'll leave it so for Zeppelin 4. You got Zeppelin 4?
sir, there is no more AC/DC or Led Zeppelin, and we're already out of all the good Rush albums."
Sir, I'm his assistant. He literally just said there's no more fucking Led Zeppelin, and you asked for Led Zeppelin, so fuck off.
What about Zeppelin 4?
The,
I mean, I'll settle for
the
it.
last Doug gets Nickelback.
He starts liking it ironically.
You know what?
Levi's stock would go through the roof, though.
What about
But not as
work
high as white
boots?
beaters. Work boots, not any boots, not UGG boots, not Gucci boots, or just
Work
boots in general.
Carhartt?
Thank you.
I can't wait until Drag Queen Doug makes his debut.
Oh,
You know what?
What?
That would be fun.
Oh, do you not know about that twist?
No, I don't know anything except those 10 minutes.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking out of my ass.
Oh damn.
There is no such Doug.
But
don't spoil it for Adam, though. Let him have that hope.
how cool would it be? Just you see a beautiful, curvaceous woman, just draped, covered face, like a nice silk veil. There's like a nice booty shaking song playing, and then
Adam, there's one problem with your hypothesis, and that is the fact that Michael Keaton's body type is 2x4.
he's got the curves of Plank from Ed, Edd n Eddy.
He has the standard cut.
Yeah, I think it's time for everyone who's listening to start pulling their own weight. You can donate to Sam's Pocket.
Yeah, you can donate to the email. Just send us your credit card number and the
Send
3
us
wacky
pictures-
digits on the
Send
back.
us nice pictures of money to edgingpodcast@gmail.com.
And we'll email you back a fist to the taint.
Yes. Email us your favorite picture of Michael Keaton.
Show us a picture of what it looks like when the human anus actually retains a potato straight through the rectum.
If you were listening to this podcast right now, I want you to post a picture of Michael Keaton on Twitter and hashtag it, #Keaton Wednesday. We're going to get it trending.
I've been Drew.
I've been Sam.
I've been Adam.
You know what? No, you can't end this podcast. This is my show. We're not done yet. I've changed my mind.
show.
We end when I say we end. This is my season.
Tweet a picture of Michael Keaton at Elon Musk and ask, where are the rest?
This has been Edging on Multiplicity. I'm Sam.
I'm Adam.
I'm Drew.
And these are our featured guests for the week.
Alexis.
And Riley.
And I want to thank you very much for putting up with this podcast, and I hope you decide to continue listening after this one.
Edging on.
Edging on. Multiplicity.
That was Edging on Multiplicity, a podcast where 3 brainless clones discuss multiplicity 10 minutes at a time. You can email us at edgingpodcast@gmail.com. Edging On is a podcast by Sam featuring Adam and Drew. Music is done by Sam and edited by Adam. Michael Keaton's not circumcised.
Wait a minute. Hold the fuck up.
Okay, wait.
The
If Michael
clones.
Keaton is circumcised, would the clones be circumcised too?
I don't think they would be. Right?
But that would mean like their hair would be long too if they just were like aged versions of the same base genetic data.
They come out the same. So they just like.
Taking a man's foreskin doesn't change his genetic makeup.
That's like saying, hey, he has a hat. Will the clone have a hat too?
Wait, because then you'd think the clone would come out with a full beard if it came out with no foreskin.
Well, he probably did. They probably shaved him off camera.
They took his foreskin too.
Yeah, the clone is born and it's a full-grown adult, but for some reason it has like ass-length hair. Is now uncircumcised. Like they gotta. Like, oh wow, that malignant tumor's back. Gotta cut that out again.
Can you play the outro theme throughout all of this? It's
We're gonna have the 12-minute extended cut of the outro.
ironic, isn't it?
What were you gonna say, Riley, before Sam?
I didn't have shit.
Adam, put this all after the credits, so the episode looks like it ends. Like after 30 minutes, the episode ends, and people open their podcast app and see that the episode is 2 hours long.
No, I won't do that.
It's like a really shitty ghost track.
Yeah, like they're just like, man, this bonus part's really long, and they look at it and realize it's a 5-hour long episode.
Bonus? More like bogus.
Oh,
I paid nothing for this. Rip off.
you guys are getting this for free?